This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet.
We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter. I want. Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on. He likes it. It's showtime.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
And that's right, it is showtime. The weeks just blow on by, but it's Wednesday right now, right here, with you and me, and whoever chooses to check it out in the future, which it lives on forever, and that's always a good thing. It's never too late. Wednesday, right now. You know, Halloween's next week. God, my earpiece is falling out. Hang on, I gotta get new ones again. They wear out so quickly. Halloween is it's gonna fall on a Friday. That's scary. I used to have a lot of fun during Halloween. I used to like to get dressed up unrecognizably to where you go places and just goof on people and leave. But I digress. I don't know. Yeah, that used to be fun, but it's also crazy, scary. Everybody's getting all messed up. It's the weekend. But anyway, we got a week to go. We'll have one more show before Halloween, but it is Wednesday. Welcome to Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here tonight. And anytime you want to watch it on demand, everywhere, or listen to it on podcast, everywhere. 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And God willing, as always, I'm telling you, got to have faith. At least I do. I figure accountability, it's never going to hurt. But tonight we got a great show for you. More things that you need to know. More things you need to know. And I'm a little dumbfounded. I'm forever learning. But I'm trying to decipher this. I need to pick apart this whole no kings thing because, again, I'm all up for a reasonable or legitimate protest. Give you a reason, but this no kings thing just makes no sense. We're going to talk about it in a few, and I'm going to show you some things that why I have a hard time just going with the flow, because there's a lot of things that just don't add up for me. And again, you're more than welcome to help me to understand, but never usually happens, But anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. And also very important, I'm going to be carrying this on for the next few weeks. I have to. I'm realizing how many people do not really understand the nature of what I talked about, the digital ID thing that they're going to be creeping up on us. This is going to be as bad as COVID, except without it's going to be an illness of a different type. It's going to be a social illness. And a lot of people are very confused because, I have a license that has a star on it because I had to get real ID to fly. Now, again, why did they make you go get real ID? They said, well, if you don't go get real ID, you can't fly. Unless you have a passport, which I do. But I did. Wait a minute. Hold just everything. Put everything on hold, please. Our first comment. Pensacola in the house. Did I tell you how much I love Pensacola? I do. Thank you, Pensacola in the house. Glad you could make it tonight. Glad anybody can make it any night. So the same way they go like, hey, you got to get real ID or you can't do this or you can't do that. And I'm thinking, okay, it's identification. But see, the thing is, a lot of people now, I'm talking about this digital ID, and they think of it in the same manner or fashion as the real ID, like it's more about identifying you. and it's not. It's more about getting everything that has to do with you and putting it in their hands to give and take away, depending on how well you behave. This is bad. Again, I'm going to keep on showing examples. I had somebody said, that's really great propaganda. Propaganda, my ass. Go to China. And he said, well, you can walk the streets. At least you can walk the streets safe. It's like, yes. And there's also people that can't leave because they owe a parking ticket and they get their, there's all kinds of things. When they have every aspect of your life in their palm of your hands, they control you. So I'm going to be giving more information on this stuff over the next few weeks. It's that important. It just really is. There's so much going on. As we're approaching the holidays, I always love talking about the holidays and relationships during the holidays. It's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people depressed during the holidays. And I'm going to be getting into that too. But this is important stuff because this is the future, people. And we got to make sure that it isn't part of our future. And that's what we're doing tonight. The No Kings thing. Man, oh man. It just tickles me. But that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So please stick around. That's what we're doing. What else we got going on here? Please, friggin' TikTok. I told you that they sorry, I want to do this. Real ID's funny. Don't need it to vote in blue states. JS, hello. By the way, BT. By the way, JS. Just hello. Oh, just hello. By the way, okay. I think that's what it means. I'm not really good with acronyms, but anyway, Irving. There you go. Hey, bro. I just remember Poppy's brother. There you go. Power to the people. Sorry, I'm all over the map tonight because there's things going on to operate this show that lots of change, just like anything else, upgrades. I've been going through hell with a lot of technical issues, and it kills me. It's like, can we not leave shit alone so it can all just work like it is? But no, we got to keep upgrading this, and hi, ladies and gentlemen. I had a psychic premonition that psychic Tony G would make her presence into this show. And lo and behold, there she is. I want her on my show, but I'm having a hard time getting a hold of her to speak to her. But I'm so thank you for joining the show, Miss Green. Thoughts and prayers every night. Where was I? Lost my train of thought now. Something about a steak knife. No. Oh man, she just threw me for a loop. She does that. See, she's got this voodoo thing going on in a nice way. I have a lot of technical stuff that goes on here, and the internet and with softwares, and everybody's upgrading. We can make this better, and then all of a sudden they make this better, and the other thing that you have isn't working with it because it wasn't prepared for you to do that to it. And it just, even today, I had a feeling I was going to be having audio issues, and I don't know how the hell it's working, but it's working, but it doesn't look like it's working to me. If that makes any sense. But we are here. And the only reason I tell you these things is because I like sharing life with you. I like sharing the real everyday stuff, as well as the pertinent information. And I hope Tony Green sticks around because I'm not opening up the phone tonight. I really want to talk to you. Get your take on a few things. But you're probably busy. But either way, I like talking about everyday stuff because things go on every day. And, it's always with life in everybody. And I think it's interesting. I just think that a lot of times people don't think that, everybody else goes through crap. It's just them. We're going to be talking a lot about that during the holidays. That's why I want Tony Green on the show. I'm putting the pressure on her now since unless that's an impersonator, could be an imposter. It happens a lot. A lot of people want to be her. So I talk about this stuff. And as the holidays roll in and we're, going to be talking about family and relationships and depression and, miss my mom. I miss my dad. My mom, Just last week was 9 years since she passed away. And you never stop counting the years. You never stop counting. It'll be, I was just like, my mother would have been 100 and this January she'll be like 103. And you know what? It's like it just feels so normal to you. So what? Yeah, although in reality it's like the odds of somebody being 103. I was lucky to have her to 93. But again, we think about all these things and the holidays roll around and it gets hard. I mean, you learn to live with these things and how to get through them. But that's love. That's love. But that's what we're going to be doing going into the holidays. But again, TikTok, I just got onto TikTok since they wiped everything out. And I've been putting up a few of my short clips. And God knows, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. And they just wiped another one out. I'm going to do like all the other influencers do, and they just do it and start over, and they just keep throwing shit up there. They get banned and pulled down. They start another page. I don't care anymore. I really don't. It's stupid. TikTok is really bad with the censorship. China. I don't think it's going to get any better too, because I think the guy that's buying it from Oracle, they're the ones who are creating all this AI stuff. Tim, what's his name? Tim something. We'll get into that. Believe me, we're going to get into that because they're the ones creating all this stuff, this surveillance, mass surveillance, and all that, and these, what do you call it? Centers. They want to build a information center, and everywhere they need it for their AI. And I don't agree with it. I really don't. There's a place for everything, but they're going to abuse the privileges, and it's going to be a friggin' mess for a while. But support, I guess is what I'm getting to. Just keep on, subscribing to the YouTube channel. Keep on commenting live. Follow me on the official Peter G Show page. And if you are going to comment, please, you got to be on the official Facebook Peter G Show page so I can see the comments. You got to be either on the Facebook official Peter G Show page or the official YouTube page or the official LinkedIn page. That's the only 3 live streams right now that will allow the comments for me to be seen. If you're commenting from any one of the other Facebook pages, because I have several, and other places, I will not see the comments. Maybe later if I happen to catch it by accident, or maybe never, because it's just getting that hard to keep up with everything. But I try because I want to see what you guys are saying, good or bad. So please subscribe, support, share, please. Love that you're watching. I do. I know it takes a lot of dedication, and I love you for it. I truly do. People are busy, but a lot of people need this. And again, if you are busy, you're driving in the car right now, it's only a little after 6 o'clock in California. People are commuting home from work. You just put an earbud in your ear and listen to it. Well, actually, yeah, you can't listen to the lives because it won't go to audio podcast until the show is over because we have to upload it. But the thing is, there's over 400 shows. You can catch it the next day. You can catch pieces of it. Put an earbud in your ear while you're at work. Work is boring. I'm saying there's a million ways to watch this show. So I appreciate it when you do and or listen to it. One thing I want to talk about before we get to go to commercial and before we get to the no kings, because I just say the word and it's no kings. I am tired. I love my, let's see what we got here. Who's Sandy. Hey Sandy. Thank you. Newbie. I like that. See, they're making the effort to be seen. It's good to be seen. I scan Facebook a lot because that's how I keep up with people, seeing what they're going through. And a lot of people from the left are crying the blues about how expensive everything is. And they make it sound like it just started. It just started, since the Orange Man took over. And I got news for you. Refresh your memory. Get your head out of your ass, lovingly. We've been paying through the nose for food and everything else and gasoline for the past 5 years. Since the other administration took over, everything went up. Remember him saying it was going to be transitional, it was only going to be for a short time, and all that crap. I'll show you again because you got the laughs going on. Panic. That's right. I see where you're coming from, and I like it. So all of a sudden, I see people. By the way, didn't take the I gotta play this. By the way, didn't take the job. Good man. I feel bad for the people that did, because it was sold very, great sales tactics, and I'm bad for a lot of people who took it against their own will but didn't want to lose their jobs, and but then again, there's a lot of people. I just got through. Who was I talking to on the phone yesterday, telling people that I know people who are still getting boosters. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Getting boosters for what? What are you boosting? Boosting your stupidity. I love you, but so I'm still dealing with people who are complaining, but making it sound like it's all happening because of the orange man taking over, which is the farthest from the truth. And the biggest thing, I just saw another meme, seeing all these memes. It's like, it's so easy to just copy somebody's out of hatred. You believe it so much. And the biggest one I saw, it's like this list of things that taxpayer money is going to. And, to suffice the orange man, like, making his kingdom happier. Number one, this new ballroom that they're talking about. Okay. And I want to tell you a little secret for those of you who think that the U.S. taxpayer is paying for this ballroom. We're not. We're fucking not. Oops, almost swore. It kind of slipped. But I can guarantee you it's going to come out strong here soon. We're not paying for that ballroom. The orange man wants it because for years, way before him, they're in Washington, D.C., half the time they have these gala events with, international leaders and things like that. And they have to have it outside because they don't have a facility big enough at the White House or enclosed to have these events, even inauguration. It's a safer way to have it indoor than outdoors. In the middle of the winter, having these dinners in tents with propane heaters and everything to foreign dignitaries and all this. This is the friggin' United States of America, for God's sake. So Trump, he's a real estate guy. He understands. He wants a bill. They're knocking down this patio area of the East Wing, which is old. There used to be a pool over there. It's not used for very much. So they're taking away a piece of it, and they're going to add on, and they just started breaking it down. But now the libtards are going crazy. The media wants to make it look like he's just doing whatever the hell he wants. I got news for you there, too. Many renovations and things have been done to the White House since the White House was built. Lots of things. Changes, remodeling, additions. In fact, that East Wing addition was done in the 1920s, I think, or something like that. George Roosevelt or something like that. But I see these people, and I love these people. But I just shake my head at how much energy they're burning up being pissed off, wanting to be pissed off, going, see, he's spending all our money for this and for that. And the hard truth is, he's going to pay for it himself if he doesn't get donors to donate, and he'll pick up whatever's left over. But at the same time, he's already has a bunch of donors. I think that thing's already going to be is already paid for out of their pockets because there's a need for it. It's by the time it gets built, he's going to see it for a very short time. This is for the presidents of the future, for the people of the future, but you got to make a big friggin' stink and raise hell about it. If it was a different president, you guys wouldn't think nothing. You'd be going, oh man, isn't that awesome? They're going to have a real great room to be able to do these events in and hold all these, award ceremonies and all this kind of stuff. You'd be singing a whole friggin' different tune. I guarantee it. But no. It's the orange man. So we got to hate everything. And then if I tell you that he's willing to pay for that out of his own pocket, which he's putting in some money, but there's other people putting in money too, because they believe in it. Then you're going to say, well, $250 or $200 million, you know what you could do with that money? You could be feeding the poor and this and that. It's like, shut the fuck up. Because so much money has gone out the door With the last administration, you see why the government is shut down right now. Do I have any video on that? No, I don't. Not tonight. They won't move forward because they want more money to go back into all those frivolous organizations that they were padding their pockets with. The plain, simple truth was all they had to do is sign off to continue the same thing that was going on the last half of this year. The first half of the year. Just continue it a little longer while they figure more stuff out. But no, they won't continue because they want more money put back in because they cut a bunch of money. There's going to be, they're not going to get, $5 million to Zimbabwe for friggin' circumcisions. They're not going to get Sesame Street in Angola. Tough. Go make your own friggin' Sesame Street. Again, they're lining their pockets. But mean old orange man. So he's holding his ground. And he's holding his ground because all those tariffs not everyone. All that tariff money that's coming in, there's a lot of money coming in. The stuff that was supposed to crash the economy and all this shit. Well, all that money he's got now, so he's able to be paying a bunch of stuff that isn't getting paid. So it's like, so he can hold out. It's like, screw you guys. You want to keep on making like we're the bad guys and you're out for the American people? Go for it. See how that works out for you. Because meanwhile, they're going down. But I want to play you one video that just explains the ballroom thing because I'm tired of people just bitching and complaining. It's like, get the friggin' facts straight before you open your mouth. I told you, what is the motto for this year? If you don't know what you're talking about, or if you're going to start flying off at the handle, shut the fuck up. Wait a minute. Let things settle. Think about it before you speak. It's simple. Shut the fuck up. But no, you put it out there. You put it out there, and then you're always going to have a friend or two that's going to pat you on the back because they're just as fucking stupid. And I don't mean that in a heavy way, but I don't know how else to put it. You're wrong. You're wrong. Here's a little information about the ballroom. I just had to get it out of the way. I'm sorry, folks. But there's people that maybe by the grace of God might see this. They may hate my guts, but they're not going to deny the facts. And that's it. So here, check this out.
Yes. First, let's talk about why they want a big, beautiful ballroom, and then we'll talk about who's paying for it. Traditionally, presidential inaugurations are held outdoors in January on the west front of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And oftentimes, the weather makes it uncomfortable for the people who are attending the presidential inaugurations. With the new 90,000 square foot ballroom, they'll be able to hold these indoors. And not only does it make it more comfortable for the people who are in attendance, but it also increases the security levels. It also allows the White House to host bigger galas for donors and foreign bigwigs without cramming them all into the old state dining room. But who's paying for all of this? It's a $200 million project. The ballroom will be paid for with private donations from corporations. For example, ExxonMobil donated $50 million towards the ballroom. Oracle, the tech company that's buying TikTok, donated $30 million to the ballroom. And then you have individuals like Elon Musk, Miriam Adelson, and some of the big casino typhoons that all donated over $1 million each. And Donald Trump said that he'll pay for the rest out of his own pocket if that's what it comes down to. This means that the $200 million ballroom is being paid for and built without any use of American taxpayer dollars. So why not? It adds value to the White House and costs us absolutely nothing. So honestly, the only reason you see some people upset about the big, beautiful ballroom is because one of their Democrat politicians told them to be.
And that is exactly right. These people lie through their teeth. They just, because they can. It's working. It's working. It's worked over the past 6 years. Lie, 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 lie. Just lie. Go down the ship with the party. Also, that'll be next week. I'm going to start explaining to you why I switched teams, how it makes sense, through the words of somebody else who basically has a great explanation of it. And I totally agree because it's basically the same way I felt. And we're going to try to understand this because you don't always have to stick to something just because you were in it. You know, even relationships. It's like, why would you stay in a relationship that's abusive? that they're doing. If you had somebody that's going to jail constantly or lying to you constantly or anything, okay, you put up with it, you forgive, it happens again, you forget. But after a while, I think even, the dumbest of all dumb finally, eventually, I'm not dumb, I don't mean that. I mean gullible or, wanting to believe. Yeah, it's like a relationship. You keep hanging in with that relationship. It's like, come on, I'm done with you. You don't make sense anymore. I used to love you, but things are not the same. And you leave. And you go hang out and get into a relationship with somebody who does make sense. Hi, my name is Peter. That's where it's at. All right, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hear from my good friends over at Clean Star Products with their money-saving fuel additive, and then we're going to be coming back, and I'm going to start talking about expressing my opinions of this and showing you some videos and some facts as to why I'm having a hard time just swallowing this whole nokings pill. I just see. I mean, I say it and it makes me crack up because it's friggin' stupid. It doesn't make sense. See, here we go with the making sense again. All right, listen. Be right back. Don't go nowhere. Go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. But please stick around and see my friends here with DX1 Driver. Be right back.
Hello, it's Tyrone Thompson here with Clean Star Products, and we're here with William.
High-end car service.
And we've just serviced his Cadillac Escalade 2024. And we're going to be giving it a go to see what kind of results he'll be getting in his fuel mileage and any performance differences, and be checking with him later.
All right.
Thank you, William, for participating in our environmental program. We're here with High-End Car Services, my friend William, who's been using DX1 for a small time now. What kind of results have you been getting?
Up to 45.1 miles per gallon best results, and the engine has been quieter, and I can definitely feel the power in the engine. I have a diesel.
Thank you so much. We're going to keep going with the program and check in with you later. We appreciate you.
The Long Life Engine Program with DX1 Driver is the only safe environmental product for your high mileage engine. DX1 is a non-toxic, clean-burning oil that goes into your fuel and your engine oil, providing lubricity for gasoline and diesel engines. You save on average 10% gasoline and 15% diesel fuel consumption. Call now for a price quote and place your order today. It's the Long Life Engine Program from Clean Star Products and Tyrone Thompson.
That's right. 2 words. I say it all the time because I mean it. It works. Peace. Gives me peace of mind. Helps my engine. If you drive a high mileage vehicle, which, to me, I recommend holding on to your cars. Cars cost a lot of money. They don't last long, but they can if you take care of them. Good food, good body. And that's where DX1 Driver comes in. I use it. I wasn't a believer until I started using it because I figured there's a million things on the shelves. What's going to make this one so much better? But it did. It did. Simple little bottle like this right here. This little bottle services your average 4-door sedan. You put one of these in a clean oil change. Last the whole oil change, 5,000 miles. If you own a Mercedes or something like that, 10,000 miles. And then every time you fill up your tank, you put one of these little bitty bottles into the tank. And then you fill it up with gas. That's it. Drive it until it starts running empty and then do it again. I noticed the difference in about the 3rd full tank. Maybe at the end of the 3rd full tank going on to the 4th. I could tell the difference. I didn't have to step on the pedal. I drive a V8. Now, the bigger vehicles, the bottle's a little bit bigger because it's a bigger engine, bigger fuel tank. So I got a 30-gallon gas tank. 30 gallons. Go do the math when you're paying almost $5 a gallon in California. It sucks. It hurts. So this not only gave me a little bit better gas mileage, I didn't have to, I could just feel it. I could feel me not having to step on the gas to get it to go like I used to. It cleans the engine, more lubricity. It keeps everything moving smoother. Good food, good body. Just think of your body in health. If you eat good, good food, good body. It helps you last longer. But don't believe me. Listen, give them a call. Go to their website, www.cleanstarproducts. They got a phone number, 310-200-8931. Go to their website. There's lots of information there. But the reason I'm telling you to call them, because if you call them, they will talk to you personally. They will answer all your questions. And the main reason I'm telling you to call them, because if you call them and mention that you saw it on the Peter G Show, and should you decide to order, they will send you 5 bottles for the price of 4. That's right, 5 bottles for the price of 4. A deal is a deal. And let me tell you why 5 bottles is a good package. Because you put one in the clean oil change to get a start, and then you'll have 4 tanks of gas to get you going. And I'm telling you, you'll notice that you're going to notice that by the end of that whole cycle, you'll be a believer. And then just add one of these bottles in every week or every other week. Once a month, anything is better than nothing. But not doing it, like I said, I can't tell you. But cars are a pain in the ass. They're expensive to repair. Nobody wants to repair them. This will help keep everything moving better. It just works. That's it. But call them, all right? Tell them you saw it on the Peter G Show. They will hook you up. Okay. Where are we? Let's get no kings. We're going to talk about no kings, but first I'm definitely going to need this now. I'm going to here I go. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Calix, look, my buddy Calix is in the house, folks. Where you been, bro? Was gonna watch the Peter G Show and then I got high. Right? Is that what happened? Was gonna watch the Peter G Show and then I got high. I forgot. Was gonna watch the Peter G Show and then I got high. Did you get high? And then you got high. And then you got high. I bet. And then you got high. Yeah. Anyway, glad you can make it. Where you been? When did you get out? They released you on better behavior early? What's up? All right. Just playing with them. Another avid viewer that I appreciate. Okay, so here's what I want to do. This is going to be well needed because let me take that. This is going to be well needed because I'm going to talk about this no kings thing. So I'm going to go down to that level, but I'm going to try and straighten it out. So again, I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Share. Can't say it enough. Subscribe and follow all that kind of stuff because it's important. We're really my Facebook people. Thank you. We're kicking ass. 62,000 followers on the official Peter G Show page. But in theory, there's well over 100,000 viewers because a lot of people just won't hit that button. Because I know that we have almost 250,000 viewers total from all the platforms. And I appreciate that. So God bless you. Thank you. Keep on watching, keep sharing, and please subscribe and share and all that stuff. Oh, wait a minute. One more because this is going to be because I got to talk about no kings. I'm going to need this. Ooh. Smooth. Right, butthead?
Smooth.
I agree with you 100%. All right. So, last weekend, there was the No Kings protest. Now, I got a hard time, I just really have a hard time playing these reindeer games because it makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense to me. And there's a lot of people in this world that don't get it either. They just don't get it. Because the people I see that are protesting, number one, I wouldn't worry about having a civil war with these people because it wouldn't take much to take them out. They just don't have the right stuff. And they talk about this with inflection and with like they're so firm on what they're protesting, but then until you ask them and they can't answer a freaking question. And again, how do I know this? because people are, there's plenty of people make fun of them, and they have all the right. I mean, here you go.
What do we want? We don't know. When do we want it? Also unclear. Why do we want it?
Because it was forwarded to us in an email, so it must be true.
Yeah!
Right? No doubt. I just got through talking about the Facebook stuff. People see a meme, they take it and they run with it. And they just put it on their site because of the hatred. They want to make sure they spread, to show, and they're screaming. The energy it must take out of their souls being that pissed off, unknowingly pissed off for things that they think they know, but they really don't. That's got to expend a lot of energy. That's going to age them. That's going to age them. But I want Glenn Beck. I'm going to start. I don't know if anybody's heard of Glenn Beck, but he's pretty big. The problem I'm having with all these protests, not only the kings, the no kings, but they're not organic. I would be super cool if these were real people. I mean, there are some real people because they fall into the narrative because they get suckered into it. But these are organizations. Everybody, I don't know if everybody understands this. These are well-managed organizations. And a lot of these people, hundreds and hundreds of them, go from one city to another for all these protests, to manage the protests, to incite the protests. And they get paid. They got jobs. They get paid from these organizations. And Glenn Beck's going to explain that a little bit. I'm trying to break it down for you guys to see, like, this shit is not really real. I mean, there are real people there, but they're really, like, low on the spectrum. Even though they're smart people, there's something about these issues that they're missing. They're missing the bus because they've just been pushed with this indoctrination of hatred. And that's all they know. Because, again, you ask them questions and they really can't answer the questions. And that's where I have a problem with it. They cannot answer questions. So therefore, it's like, well, then what are you doing? Just being a loudmouth. They're just sheep. But here's Glenn Beck. Check it out.
If this movement is truly against billionaires and the powerful, why is it funded by billionaires and the powerful? This is not about dismantling power. This is about rearranging power. So according to several sources, including Fox News, George Soros and his Open Society Action Fund granted $3 million to Indivisible. Now, this is one of the primary organizers of the No Kings protest. Soros's larger network, the Open Society Foundation, gave over $7.6 million to the same operation. We're almost at $11 million, but Soros is not alone. If you follow the funding trail, it leads to, what a surprise, the Arabella Network. Now you add in the Bill Gates Foundation, or the Ford Foundation, or here's my favorite, the Rockefeller Network. There is now this organization funded by billionaires, Riots Inc., and it is the permanent protest industrial complex. These tactics were developed by the CIA, and they're called color revolutions. And what they do is they flood the streets with, quote, organic protesters. They control the media narrative. They destabilize the existing system, and then they overthrow that system and install a new one. It is part of a longer game. Once you convince free people that freedom itself is the problem, they'll beg for a change. And that's when the kings, the real kings, step out from behind the curtain. When there's an emergency for your own good, you have to remain inside. You're not an essential worker. You can only shop at Home Depot. That's the sign of a king. Kings, they don't have to wear crowns. Usually kings just sign checks. Sometimes they fund revolutions. They are the ones writing the script for the resistance, for their own power and kingdoms.
That's just a taste of the reality, the real what's going on. It's funny because they were showing all these No Kings rallies, and especially up in, like, the northwestern, the Seattles and Portlands and all that, and people are running around in those inflatable, like, dinosaur suits. I mean, it was just like a big rainbow party or something. They were just having fun, kumbaya, and they had these dances going on and all that. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if shit goes down, I'm not worried about these, poppy flowers. I'll mow right over them. They don't have no backbone. They don't even know why they're there, but it's fun. And they just start screaming and yelling. And again, I'm sure a lot of them are really good people and they mean well. They just fell into that black hole of hatred and misconception of what's really of reality, of what's really going on. And I don't blame them, because you got news media, nobody tells the truth. So who do you believe, right? That's why you got to do your own work. I'm not telling you to believe me. I put out stuff here for you to at least watch and have that in your head. Because if you believe the opposite of what I'm telling you, then at least look at these things and keep it in your head, because you'll start seeing more and more and it'll start to make sense. That's how it got to me back in like 2015 when I finally said, wow, I didn't see this stuff. And I started changing teams. I'm going, this is not working. And I didn't see this, but I kind of did, but I didn't. And now I do. I was blind, but now I see. Hallelujah. There's a kid that goes around. He's a young guy, He's a young guy. And he goes around and exposes all these organizations that orchestrate these paid protests. Because there's a lot of people on when you have millions and millions, it don't cost much to be paying somebody $300-500 to go protest. Times thousands and thousands. When you're laying down $2-3 million a protest or more. Because when you're a billionaire, $2,000-3,000 is, $2-3 million is like $2,000-3,000 to the average person, or $200-300 to somebody who's really struggling. It's a lot of money to somebody. Hell, for me, $2-3 is a lot of money. But this guy's name is Nate Friedman, and he goes and he's got tons of videos of him going places, exposing and proving that he goes to different locations in different parts of the country, and it's the same people there, holding different types of signs for different reasons. I mean, how much more can we spell it out for you? But here you go. Nate Friedman exposing paid protesters, and how then they started catching on to him because he's gone to so many of these things, and they try to avoid him. But, anyway, the proof is in the pudding. Thank you for paying attention. Here you go.
I didn't get an email about like the briefing. Is there like a sign up for it or something like that?
I think this is maybe one of the.
What's that?
No, we're good.
No,
we're good.
but I don't know.
Oh no, I'm just press asking questions.
Yeah, I think.
No. He's not asking. But no, it's
I think this is the guy.
I don't know.
Okay, so they had a full panic and just talked over each other. Now, this woman did the scripted right-wing troll line, which I guess they must have forgotten to pick up their signs, because that's exactly what they did to me last time. And before that, a different paid protester with the exact same sign followed me around the Take Down Tesla protest. So who are these people, really? Keep watching. What's the next protest?
I don't know.
This one.
I'd have to.
He's got a camera, just so you know. He's got a camera. He's recording you.
No way. It's nice to have a conversation. How long have you been working with Rise and Resist?
I'm not answering those questions.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to answer any personal questions.
That's fair. Do you feel like Trump is a king?
I don't. I'm not going to get into a political conversation with you. I'm here to marshal and keep people safe. That's my job here today, and I'm just going to do my job.
What do you mean by like marshal?
We help traffic. We help people with the traffic. We help cars redirect. We help bike messengers.
Okay.
We are helping people be safe on the streets.
Does that mean you guys are working with the NYPD?
Yes. We talk to them.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. That's interesting. But is there like a briefing before, like that you guys work with the
NYPD?
Yeah.
No.
So how do they know that like you're out there marshalling with them?
They're not blind.
And neither am I. This is you calling ICE thugs, and with a $50,000 bounty on ICE agents, you have blood on your hands. This is you taking it a step further and calling them the Gestapo. Back again at a different protest, and again and again. The company she works for is Rise and Resist. They are one of the nonprofits receiving a portion of the $7.6 million from George Soros, and were responsible for the Take Down Tesla protests that often resulted in vandalism. They claim that all of of their events are non-violent, which is odd because there's hundreds of pictures of their protesters getting arrested. One of the things they love to do is organize sit-ins at Trump Tower, and they're politely escorted out of the building and released from custody almost instantly, which means that the supposed king is quite forgiving with people trespassing his family's home. The donation link to Rise and Resist goes straight through Act Blue. Now it's really her associates that are the star players on the protesting field. Watch this. You see her? She works with Karen Shaw, the kazoo lady from the previous No Kings rally. This is her making the signs for Rise and Resist in their little print shop. She protests whatever is on the schedule. Back again in front of the courthouse asking to abolish ICE. She wants to, quote, free them all, and she's doing this sit-in again inside of Trump's family home.
Sorry, I was reading something. I'm just blown away by this, because this is what's really going on. Do you know that? And again, in some of the, I don't think I have this in any of the videos, but another sponsor of all these protests going on all over the country, from the Tesla protest to the No Kings to the, I mean, I don't know. There's been so many. CPA. There's a sponsor called CPA that gives tons of money to be able to keep making signs, hiring people, busing people to different protests, all that kind of stuff. You know what CPA stands for? Not Certified Public Accountant. Not at all. Communist Party of America sponsors this stuff also. They're all in cahoots. What we got here? Shalom, my brother. I've seen you before. There you go. Thanks for chiming in. Glad you can make it. There you go. See, everybody comes to the Peter G Show because I love everybody. Unless you give me a reason not to. Everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody. So this kid goes, I'm telling you, and he goes to a lot of these organizations. I mean, to all these protests, he goes to all of them. I mean, you know, New York, I mean, and there's a ton of them, believe me. They protest shit, you know, some more publicly announced than others, and I don't know how he does it, but he does. And he exposes it all. And a lot of these people start showing all the people who are the same people in different cities for different reasons, all making believe they're protesters. It's a job now. For the past 4 or 5 years, it's been a living for these people. And they get to travel, and they're having fun, and they make friends, and they get to do dances, and, you know, it's just blown my mind. Here's another guy who's going to tell you the same thing, different area, No Kings protest, but he's going to expose more people, because this is why you have to understand that this is all bullshit. I wish I could tell you that it was organically organized, and these people, majority of the people that come in, did it on their own, but they don't. They have instigators, you know, manipulators, and organizational people just putting this all together to make it to where here. Just walk in, and I'm going to make it easy for you. Just scream as loud as you can. And I'm going to say it again. At least if you're going to protest, come up with a better name. Because No Kings doesn't make any sense. They're showing you right here that if he was a king, there'd be no protest. You'd all be in jail, and he'd be chopping your heads off. It doesn't make sense. Come up with a title for a protest that's sensible. I would respect you more if you just said, we friggin' hate the Orange Man, period. We're protesting the Orange Man. But don't call him a king. I'm going to show you down the road that he's doing everything because he knows he's being scrutinized and watched. So everything gets done by the book, whether you like it or not. By the book. So please, stop with the bullshit. Stop with the nonsense. Right, Calex? Calex knows. All right, here's another guy going to expose more of this paid protesting stuff. So here you go.
You can go ahead and go on.
Oh, is this the fastest blogger?
I'm a At the No Kings protest, I got a shocking admission from an organizer. They're paying protesters to protest. And the money trail leads us back to a dark network funded by big players like George Soros and Bill Gates. I'm exposing another organization for every 100 new followers. This isn't some random babushka collecting money. This is an organized effort by communists to overthrow the government. And one of them is about to slip up and tell me what they're using the donations for. What did the donations do?
Well, we're mobilizing people to begin to go to the Washington Monument beginning November 5th and stay there.
Yep, you heard it right. Refuse Fascism, the group behind these protests, is raising money to ensure paid activists can occupy public spaces indefinitely to protest Trump. But it goes much deeper than that. Refuse Fascism was founded by Carl Dix and Sansara Taylor. Dix is a founding member of the Revolutionary Communist Party, which openly calls for a communist revolution in the United States. And Taylor believes that violent tactics are justified to push the group's agenda. This is precisely why they target and recruit college students on campuses like Georgia Tech. A day after Charlie Kirk's murder, we're here at Georgia Tech University in Atlanta, Georgia, and the first thing I see when I come to the campus is the fall of the Trump fascist regime beginning November 5th, 2025. RefuseFascism.org needs to be investigated. 2028 is way too late. Trump must go now. All over the campus, similar signs. No, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. RefuseFascism.org, followed by a sign that we already read. This is happening all over this campus. So you got to ask yourself, when you see posters like this nonstop, what are they advocating for? Refuse Fascism claims to rely on donations, but the truth is they're backed by a financial juggernaut. The group is fiscally sponsored by the Alliance for Global Justice, a massive left-wing organization that serves as a legal and financial umbrella for Refuse Fascism. Last year, the Alliance for Global Justice racked in nearly $7 million in grants and donations. And where does this money even come from? Dark money hubs like the Tides Foundation, which funneled $1.9 million to the group. This is a major dark money hub that funnels funds from progressive donors like Bill Gates to leftist organizations like Refuse Fascism. Meanwhile, the Open Society Foundation, now led by George Soros' son Alex Soros, have poured millions more into the group through multiple grants. This dark money network, fueled by elite donors, hides behind a veneer of grassroots activism. But what are they really funding?
With rotating people that stays there until we amass the forces that create cracks that drives Trump out. We're setting out to drive out Trump. We mean what we say.
Yeah. Let me know how that works out. Yeah, that's all you got. You got it's like the island of misfit toys. Just firm believers, but they're retarded when it comes to that. They're probably nice people, maybe. Not all. Probably some are pain in the asses. But the older ones, the old people, they got nothing else to do, and they're just. I know people like that. I do, and some I love, but they're smart too. They're not even stupid. But I don't know, when it comes to the orange man, there's just this thing. One thing I can tell you is, if you listen to that video, they're trying to kill this country. They're trying to take this country down. Communism, whatever you want to use, however you want to put it. It's like, who's the name? I've been talking about Bill Gates for the past 3 months now. He's got his hands in every friggin' thing, from the ground to the sky. And funding this stuff, because when you got that much money, because it's all in his benefit. They're all these elite assholes, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, the UN. You know, the UN gave the WEF power now, just like the UN, to help control things, because that's what they want to do. They want to control things. Bill Gates, George Soros, all these names, you're hearing the same names, the Rothschilds, the this, that, all these elite assholes. And then, even if they die off, like Soros is old, his son is right there behind him. But, it's a start. We don't have to put up with this stuff. We don't. There's only a few thousand of them, and there's billions of us. I can't say that enough. It's all fake. And a lot of people have bought into it, but many, many more have not. They just make you feel like there's a big majority of people. But just like everybody's, had, even Kamala Harris had her own. They had her believing like she was going to win by a gazillion. They had here, even she was bullshitted. She didn't stand a chance, and there's a good reason for it. And here we are. I want to show you what our Congress people, Shifty Shift and Cory Booker. This is it. More kumbaya stuff. It just drives me nuts. But this is, this is what democracy is all about, or whatever the hell they're chanting. It's like, oh my God, shut up. And again, a lot of people go, oh my, aren't they great? Aren't they awesome? They're looking out for the American people. They're looking out for their own freaking pockets, people. Stop kidding yourself. Shift is one of the biggest crooks, biggest gay crooks. Here you go.
This is what democracy looks like.
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 Okay, let's think about this for a second. Let's think about the irony. They're chanting, this is what democracy looks like, while protesting a king. They're proving their own chant correct, while simultaneously proving their accusation wrong. Think about that. They're saying, we don't have kings. Trump is a king. He's trying to be a king, while actively showing that our democracy under Trump is working fine. And for you technical people, yes, constitutional republic, but let's just keep it simple. They are quite literally proving themselves wrong. The ability to assemble, chant, and criticize the current leader is democracy. In fact, they've been bragging about how big this protest was and records it broke and all these things. If we were in an authoritarian government, they would not have been able to set records. They are quite literally proving themselves wrong. Now, you know what makes this even more ironic? You know what's more interesting? They're doing all of this while there's a government shutdown. The shutdown is a sign of political gridlock, which is a part of our constitutional process, not a monarchy. If this was a monarchy, that king would issue a decree and it would keep the treasury flowing. So they're out here protesting and setting record numbers at these protests. They're disproving the whole claim that they're protesting about, that Trump is a king. Yes, a king that lets you guys beat effigies of him and protest him and talk crazy about him. Set records in opposition to him with the amount of people protesting. Again, this wasn't about reality. It was about them getting together and making themselves feel good. These are not serious people. They're out here loudly and proudly contradicting their own claims.
And that, my friends, is a fact. They are, and it's stupid. And that's what makes it even worse. It's so stupid. What do we got going on here? Oh, man. Hey, Paul, you missed your cue, bro. You missed your cue. Had it all lined up for you. What are you, late? You out partying? That's Now I picked up this. This is what democracy looks like. This is for those of you who are homophobes, you might want to cover your eyes. But this is a little AI that it's like, this is how good AI is getting, and it's going to be scary because I know that there's going to be way too many people who can't figure out the friggin' difference. But I couldn't help it. I had to play this because it's just so it's cringy. It's kind of creepy too. But this is what democracy looks like. Once again, with Adam Schiff and Cory Booker.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
That's pretty much, if that's fiction imitating life, but that's the real Adam Schiff right there. So we got, oh boy, now he's like, ew, that's right, Paul. Right there, ew. But again, I don't know. Adam Schiff thinks it was
smooth.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry. That's kind of shit, like it can't be unseen anymore. Hope you can sleep tonight. Right, Calex? All right. So again, with the bullshit of this, even the media, once again, the liars, talking about how big of an event. And this has been done before. I remember when monkeypox, remember when they were trying to put monkeypox? Shit. I think of all the bullshit that I had to watch and talk about, and There were so many people scared, because there's like, okay, what can we throw at them next to scare the shit out of them so they'll conform? That was all what it's about, seeing what they can get you to do. Because once COVID started wearing off, people started catching on, they needed more stuff. They tried the swine flu or the bird flu. That didn't work very long. Okay, monkeypox, especially for gay people. And then there was lines. The media would show a line of people, out the door wanting to get the vaccine for monkeypox. It's like, what the hell was monkeypox? They were showing pictures on the internet of like these, bad scenes of people with supposed monkeypox. They were black and white photos from like 1942 or something like that. But this is the bullshit that the media does to you. This is 3 inches. Yeah. What's Paul says? Corey said 3 inches. Yeah, we don't want to talk about his personal life there, but I wouldn't doubt it one bit. He's a little wiener. But I digress. Can't all be big. So damn, Paul, now you threw me. The lies. So they take, they just show pictures. Even during war, they would take pictures from other wars and put them out there so they had something traumatic to show you. They suck. The media sucks. They need to be taught a lesson. I don't know how and when that this is all going to straighten out, if ever. But that's why the national media is so not taken seriously anymore. People are trusting independent journalists more on streaming media than national media, except for older people who don't go looking for stuff because they're old and they just stick to CNN and all that. And again, even almighty Fox has their problems. They do. But some have more, some have less. I take everything with a grain of salt, and I do my own looking around. You have to, because there's so much bullshit out there. Obama said it enough. I played that video many times where he says, if you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. So here, this is, again, now don't get me wrong, a lot of people, paid and unpaid, did show up for the Nokings rally. The title that makes no sense. A lot of people did show up for it, but it wasn't, changing the world. A lot of people don't give a shit about it. Okay? We don't. It's stupid. Because it is stupid. I just played these videos. If that doesn't change your mind, then good luck to you. You got enough going on. Yeah. Well, Paul says, Paul's commenting tonight, huh? You got no more Walter Cronkites. Well, look, it was a different time. There was 3 channels on a TV. And even then, it was probably a lot more accurate times. After 1962, I want to say, after they offed Kennedy, nothing's ever been the same. The presidents have just become, focal puppet pieces. It's hard. We got to get back to real. But who knows? All we can do is try. We're on the right track right now. If we can get some of these people to just shut the fuck up and get, but again, one piece at a time, it's getting there. Stick to your guns and believe the truth. Look for the truth. Don't just believe everything on TV, again, including me. But I'm showing you these videos, and if that doesn't make any sense, well, then you need to dig a little further. Not a problem, but at least you're watching. Here's MSNBC talking about the record-breaking turnout in Boston. Biggest rally ever in Boston. Okay? Here you go.
Fake news MSNBC got totally busted lying about the size of the No Kings rally.
Look at this. Millions of people across the country marching as we speak against the policies of President Trump. This is Boston. Look at that. We'll continue to follow these rallies throughout the day here on MSNBC. Wow.
It is Boston, but it's not October 18th, 2025. It's August 19th, 2017 at a totally different counter rally. So real footage, fake news.
Liars. And it wasn't even a counter rally. It was the Boston Marathon. It's like, come on. But see, they got the balls. They got the balls. Major news networks going, here, put this in. That's ballsy. Used to be, you did something like that, you'd be fired in a heartbeat. Now it's encouraged because they're supporting a team or a, what do you want to call them anyway? They're drowning. The left is drowning. They've got nothing because they've gone off they've just gone off the rails. And all they have to do is get their common sense back. And a lot of people believed in the Democratic Party. I did at one time, many, many years ago. But when they start talking shit and they're like, you got AOC and all these, what's her name? Crockett, Jasmine Crockett. She's about as dumb as a rock. Next week, I'll play a video of you got to hear her explanation of what law enforcement's job should be. It's mind-blowing. A kindergartner knows what law enforcement is supposed to do. She just blows my mind, and she's in Congress. That's pathetic. That's embarrassing. But this is the world we're living in. Lies. Lies, lies, lies. Here's the band Beard. He pretty much puts it right where it is. I love this guy. Haven't spoken to him in a while. He's been on the show twice, I think, helping me out with the facts because he's very well versed. But again, the no kings, they're calling the Orange Man a king, but everything he has done is by the book, by law. He's broken no laws in everything he's done. He has to, because he knows how quickly they're going to come after him if he doesn't. He's just smart. He's got, there you go. Here, don't believe me. Listen to the band Beard.
Well, shit, this is going to piss off a lot of fucking liberals today. The No Kings movement just got kicked in the dick yet again. See, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals just ruled that Donald Trump lawfully exercised his statutory authority while deploying National Guard troops to Portland. So Donald Trump, yet again, followed the law. Donald Trump, yet again, followed the Constitution. And the system that is put into place to ensure that somebody is not a king in the United States worked out just fine. See, the court systems are still intact. And it's going through the court systems in which they can decide whether Donald Trump is doing something lawfully or not. See, in a kingdom in which Donald Trump is king, none of those things happen. In a kingdom in which Donald Trump is king, the Senate wouldn't shut down the government. In a kingdom where Donald Trump is king, the Democrats wouldn't have voted no to paying our military. Thank God Donald Trump had tariffs and he's got a surplus, so now he can pay for all those things while the Democrats have your government shut down.
Touche. I'm telling you, he's going to outsit the Democrats when it comes to this shutdown. They're going to be wishing they didn't pull this bullshit that they're pulling because they know that they're wrong. But again, they're not looking out for us, although they're telling you they're fighting for the American people. They're not. They're fighting to stuff their own pockets. They don't even have money for the Democratic, for coming up the elections and all that kind of stuff, because all the money they were getting, they were skimming off of the top of all these programs they were getting the money from. It was like, that they canceled PBS and NPR. Well, they'd give NPR a ton of money, and then NPR would donate a ton of money back to them for giving them the money. Same thing. All electric buses in Mapupu. Electric buses. Yeah, sure. We're going to create this organization and we're going to give you this money, and then you're going to give us a whole bunch of money back so we can pay ourselves more money and I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just the way it is. They just line their pockets. But either way, it's all good. Look, also, I want to show you. Yeah, this is what we're left with. We're left with protests, the No Kings protests. And we got to put up with the libtards. I mean, it was just like a big party. They show up in dinosaur outfits and blow up, all these animals and rainbow flags. And yeah, that's great. But I mean, here's an example of like, this was just some of the shit that these people, when you go down there to go see what's going on, this is what goes on. There you go. Where are we? There you go.
This is a perfect zoo animal of seeing what a libtard looks like in the wild. See, they have the weird bag that they got at a marijuana hemp store. They have ill-fitting waist where they have a lot of visceral body fat around their stomach. And then they have cheap glasses that they get at the same methamphetamine pipe store that they got the purse. She's on antidepressants. She's 5 times vaccinated. So she's disconnected with reality. These people are delusional, and they all look like this libtard. So this is what a libtard looks like in the wild. Thank you guys for watching.
Again, they're stuck on their ways, and that's what they want to do. And let them do it. Let them do it. Have at it. Have a good time. Have a good time. Anyway, I hope that helps explain a little bit about, again, I have no problem with people protesting. I really don't. Just protest for a good reason. Have a better title. If they wanted to say they hate the orange man, just say we're protesting because we hate the orange man. Just say it. Don't say no kings. It doesn't make any sense. So I hope those videos and some of the facts about how they're funded and that all the people that show up, I mean, for the past 5 years now, at least 4 years, people have made their livings off of getting paid to protest, becoming managers of the organizations. It's like having a job, organizing the protests. They get paid. Back in the day, doing protests, that was a voluntary thing. You did it because you wanted to do it, because you felt the need to do it. To be an American, using your freedom to protest for something, whether it was the Vietnam War or whatever. You went out on your own recognizance for free. But not no more. Not no more. Just the way it is. I'm going to shift gears. I told you that I was going to talk about digital ID real quick because I'm going to touch on digital IDs to help you understand a little more about them each week. Because I think there's a huge misconception right now because it's kind of in the early stages and a lot of people don't really understand. A lot of people are associating digital IDs with real ID because they kind of sound the same. ID, real, digital. What's the difference? You're just digitizing. So your ID, it's all digital, all the same. Farthest from the truth. It's not the same. It is not the same. And we don't have it yet. But they are going to try because, well, you're going to see, they're going to explain it to you in these videos. But if we don't conform, the rest of the world is going to want to wonder why we're going to have our freedom and they're all locked down. And then they start losing the control because they're saying other countries, the last remaining few that aren't under control. So we cannot give up our freedom, which they're going to make you think like you're not going to give up your freedom, but they're going to take your freedom. And then it's too late. Here's Alex Jones. I used to think he was kind of crazy, but he's pretty well informed. The more you dig into things, in the beginning, again, when I was a doubter, a naysayer, kind of cautious, I would question him too. I still question because you just don't know. I look at everything with question. I go to my doctor, who you're supposed to trust. I question him. I do more work. I don't just go with what he says because times have changed. Here's Alex Jones talking about the digital ID globalist takeover. Again, it's globalist, the WEF. the United Nations. These people want everything under one roof. They want to rule the whole world. No more states, no more countries, no more continents. They want to just have it all. And that ain't going to fly. So here's Alex Jones explaining a good bit. So please take this into consideration. At least keep this in your mind or watch the video again. Start learning. This could be detrimental to our freedom. I know it's going to be. It will be. Here you go.
The globalists admit that they want a post-industrial world. That's John Kerry said last year, we got to cut off half the farming or people will starve. That's what causes starvation, obviously. And they want to cut the resources off so they can manage and control people. That's why in the Netherlands and in Ireland and in Sri Lanka, all over, they're cutting off massive amounts of the farming, taking some of the best farming land ever and saying, sorry, your cows pass gas, it's bad for the earth. That is deliberate sabotage of the world economy to cause a collapse. Then the banksters can loan us more money, bring in a new cashless society, social credit score. That is the end game plan. And they talk about carbon lockdowns for the earth, where you'll be told when you can leave your house. During carbon lockdowns, you'll be told when you can leave your 15-minute city. This is a very totalitarian hellscape, dystopia, sci-fi vision they have. And Trump is 95%, I would say, in opposition to it, even with his limited understanding. By limited, I mean he's smart about the economy, but doesn't understand it's deliberate. And he goes, oh, they're really dumb. These are the worst ideas I ever heard. Is that why they're all unified, decades getting them in place? Is that why the big banks and corporations are exempt? No, it's feudalism. We don't have resources. We don't have rights. They all have the rights. That is the purest form of economic control. It's the oldest form of government. It's been the most common form of government in world history. And the UN and the globalists say we're bringing back feudalism. Neo-feudalistic capitalism is what they call it. But really, it's just slavery. And that's what we're opposing. And that's what the relaunch of the West is about. That's what Elon Musk understands. And that's why this is a do or die existential threat to everybody. People should just get on board and get hardcore or be absolute feudal slaves if you're lucky. You realize 3 years ago, the UN made the World Economic Forum co-equal to its governing body and its councils. And you understand, if you actually read their writings, the future isn't human. People are bad. Families are bad. We're going to have these AI gods that take over. I mean, it is just the wildest thing that Lex Luthor in a comic book couldn't come up with. This is beyond supervillain stuff. This is real super demon stuff. And you have to identify the attack you're under and that it's deliberate. Then you have to mobilize and get good legislatures and governors and others elected. Populists are getting elected all over the world. People are really waking up to this. And we have now these attorney generals winning court cases in Texas and other places where BlackRock tried to come in and say, we're not going to have any investment in your state if you don't get rid of fossil fuels. And then Texas sued Kim Paxton and said, this is racketeering. This is illegal. They won the court cases. It is. Because Larry Fink says this is about control, and we're going to control you. And they control us by managing our money. Well, now a bunch of states are pulling their pension funds from BlackRock. And now Larry Fink is singing a different tune, at least publicly, and they've pulled some of their DEI and some of the ESG stuff, which is the corporate governance. When you wonder why, whether you're in Australia, Germany, or the U.S. or Canada, it's the same policies, the same programs, the same drag queen story times, the same take a knee during the national anthem. All of this comes out of them literally trying to demoralize us, because if we have a free, open society, people around the world are going to want that. And you can't have a control group where there's some free, prosperous Western nations, everybody else slaves under BlackRock and the globalists. That's why you've got to take down the West so there's nowhere to run.
Do you see that? At the very end, if they don't take down the United States, because we're a world leader, so to speak, the rest of the world is going to say, well, why do we have to be like this if they're not? And then there's going to be an uprising. BlackRock, freaking BlackRock. That is, just say devil. They own everything. They got their hands in everything. Them with Gates, with Soros, and again, the whole group. The whole group. It's mind-blowing how they can they've taken over the control, buying everything up, the housing. They don't want you to own a house. They want to rent you a house. They're buying up all the housing. They've been buying it all up for years now. They want you to just rent out. Again, they want to keep you to where you don't have control, because when you're a renter, you can't do anything you want, even if you own a house. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I hope we don't have to start. They're going to end the property tax thing. Why would you pay property taxes on your own property? But they're working on that too, which I think is pretty much going to go through, at least for seniors and stuff. And that's a good start. Global takeover. But if the United States, if they can't get the United States to conform, they're going to have a hard time keeping everybody in line. That's why it's so important for the United States to tell them to go F themselves, no matter what the cost. And when the time comes and we start feeling the pinch, believe me, I'm going to get on that soapbox big time. Because again, it's life and death. It's for you guys. It's for us. It's for your children. Tim Kramer. I love Tim Kramer. He gets a little too excited, but he's got the facts. And again, he's going to tell you one more time about total control. And this is what's going on. And the data centers that they're wanting to bring into your neighborhoods. Why they want to bring these data centers into every town. Check it out.
What's the hardest part of corralling a group of animals? Building the corral. Corralling them, getting them all together. You can do that. They do that out of fear. They will run out of fear right into the corral. The thing that will trap them, they will run right into it thinking that that's where their safety is. So building the corral, that's the hardest part. And if you've got a lot of animals, you've got to build a big corral. And that's what the tech community has been doing for the last 30 years. Are you getting a data center in your community? Yeah, everybody is. Every county, every state. As Oprah said, everybody gets a data center. And along with the data centers, have you noticed what's coming along with that? Yeah, higher electricity prices. Why? Well, they're not going to pay those fees. No, they're going to put that on your back. And there's water shortages because the data centers require a lot of fucking water. Instead of making it a looped system to where they keep the water and just use the same water over and over again and add a little from time to time, no, they're just putting a pipe into a river or into a reservoir and sucking all that water out and then pumping it right back through the system, right back into the ground. How long do you think that'll take before it starts, depleting the reservoirs, the aquifers? Not long. That's what the experts say. That's what they're doing. That's why your electricity prices and your infrastructure prices and your county fees are all going up, is for these data centers. Now, you've got to ask yourself, why do they need so many goddamn data centers? Well, simple. To watch you.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Wow, what a world. Nobody steps out of line. Nobody's ever offensive. Why? Well, because the state is watching on a daily basis, 24/7. And you step out of line, you dissent, they'll come get you. That's the world that they have planned for you. Just wait until they get the central bank digital currencies in there, and they can tell you what you can and can't buy. Just wait. It's going to be awesome. Now, the question I have to ask you is, this new world that they're creating for you, where a group of people have total control over everything that you say and do you honestly believe that this is the world that our founding fathers wanted created when they jumped in those boats and crossed the Delaware River on Christmas Eve? No. When they went over that river to kill the British, they were killing the British because this is the exact world they feared most. Because it was happening to them in their time, in their way, at that moment. They were under tyranny. They were already under oppression. And you know what they said? Those guys in the red coats, those motherfuckers gotta die!
I tell you, Tim gets excited. I really want to get him on the show soon. I've been saying that, but he's hard to get a hold of. He's busy, too. He's busy making videos like that. Cheers. One of those nights, fact or fiction. I choose fact. I hope any of this makes sense to all of you. For those naysayers, I hope you take into account, and I appreciate you watching. I'm sure there's some, believe me, I'll get the emails later. But I do appreciate you watching. At least give me a shot, because I'm pretty sure I'm running some stuff by you that maybe you haven't seen and you need to take into consideration. And whether you want to believe it or not, like I said, it's all up to you. Life is short. Go for it. Everybody has their own journey. But I'm just trying to bring some reality to this life, because there's so much bullshit out there. I want to remind you, next week, I will be bringing you more of this reality, because I feel it's necessary right now. before we start getting into the holidays. I might lighten up during the holidays, but it's not even lightening up, changing topics about family and reality and family and just stuff. I don't know, life. What we got going on over here? Ryan Stewart, man, Ryan, who's Ryan? I'll put it up here. Ryan Stewart, John David. You wrote a book, bro. But thanks, I appreciate you paying attention. They will try the rights of the rich and I'm pretty sure it's rich and powerful want to control everyone, everything. They want to get rid of the poor. Of course they do, because they're non-essential. COVID-19 was a load of rubbish. It sure was. Way to scare up the public into having yep, it sure did. They were poisoning people with them. They sure were. They have been planning this for many years. They sure are. Deep rabbit holes. It's like friggin' a horror movie. And yeah, it is. And they're going to continue. They're going to continue. But thanks for paying attention. Let's see what we got here. I love the Peter G Show. Thanks, brother. Remember, puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff, pass. Again, I want you to join me next week, Wednesday, October 29th, Wednesday before Halloween. Right here, where I'm going to talk more about the reality of what's going on in our world right now, because I feel it's very important and you need to be informed. I'm trying to bring a small piece of reality to your life. And a few jokes here and there, if we can. Life is short. I want to have a little bit of fun. I have a lot of fun. I do. But I'm busy. And when you're busy, it's like, I dream of the day where I can relinquish some of these tasks that I have. And it'll happen to where I can spend more time on just goofing. Used to love, if I had a co-host, there'd be a lot more jokes here because I get to feed off of, maybe I'll get Tony Green. Smooth. But we're going to be here next Wednesday talking about a little bit more. I'm going to keep dripping more and more of this digital ID information on you. And we're going to be talking about a few other things, the relevancy of, especially I'm going to be talking next Wednesday, October 29th, right here. I'm going to be talking more of the relevancy of what the Orange Man is actually really doing. And just the haters don't want to give credit where credit is due. That's for sure. And again, I'll be dripping more about this digital ID stuff and whatever else is going to come along the path between now and next Wednesday, God willing. But I do appreciate everybody for tuning in to Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show, every Wednesday like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. on that East Coast. I'm telling you, it ain't easy being me, but I love it. And I love you for paying attention. Share, subscribe, follow. Don't forget, audio podcast. Take it on the road with you while you're driving in the car. Over 400 shows. Something to keep you busy. I'll give you plenty of aha moments. And there's tons of topics. So much stuff to choose from. Whenever we do a rerun once in a while, I have a hard time picking what I want to do. There's all these choices. Oh, wow. I didn't think you were still listening. Heaven. Yeah, so much to say. So little time. But I mean it. I do. And I want to leave you with this, as I always do. I want you to be kind. Life is pretty touchy right now. A lot of people living hand to mouth day by day. It's not easy. A lot of people lash out because of their situations. It builds up on you. You don't know what other people are going through. So think before you speak. You don't know. Wait, am I done? Yes, I am done. Well, I'm not done yet, but I will be in a couple of minutes if I didn't stop to tell you that I am almost done. I gotta go pick up a new set of steak knives. I like steak. Oh man, that woman always makes me lose my train of thought. I love her. I gotta get her on the show. she's got this voodoo. Let me just give her a plug too. Tony Green, Psychic Tony Green. For those of you, she says stop. Psychic medium Tony Green has been on the show several times, and she's got a gift, and she's kind of lighthearted too at the same time, and I enjoy her company. And she's been on this show, and we've had a lot of fun, had a lot of laughs too. But she also is a psychic medium, and she tells you things, and so she does her own show too, and she does it right before this show on YouTube. Her show is 7:00 Central. Psychic medium Tony Green on YouTube, and she does one on Monday afternoons at noon too on YouTube live. So you can go check her out, and she answers a lot of questions. If you type in how does my love life look? I need to type into her about how my love life is looking, because I can't seem to. It's not looking back at me. Anyway, she'll answer your questions, and she's entertaining, and she says some pretty funny stuff too. She's kind of funny in her own way. She is. But on top of that, she's super easy on the eyes too. But the thing is, all of the above. She's like the whole picture. What more could one ask? So go check her out every Wednesday, right before the Peter G Show. She just gets out of her seat, and then I come and sit in it, and then I just move the picture. We put a new background in, and it's like, okay, next. It's like a network, and she does her thing, and then I come on at 8:00 Central and do my thing. And normally she's super busy, because once we come out of show, there's more things going on than just getting up and walking away. At least someday there will be. I'll be able to do that. Say thank you, good night. But tonight I've had the honor of her watching. Either that or she's really friggin' bored. All right. I took more time, but I couldn't help it, because give credit where credit is due. I love her. Again, I'll remind you, next Wednesday, October 29th, right before Halloween, we're going to go over more stuff. So pass the word around. Be kind. All of the above. It's really super important. And you don't have to be an ass, but you don't have to take a lot of crap from people either, because life is short. And one day I'm going to be talking about that stuff too. I want to do a relationship show with Tony Green, because I'm telling you, her version of some relationships and my versions differ tremendously. We're going to do it one day. We keep talking about it, and then life goes on. We get busy. She sees a squirrel and gets, diverted, and I, get busy with something else going on, and it's hard. But I want to do a relationship show with her at least once a month, because I'm telling you, not only will it be funny, but it'll help too. There'll be a seriousness to it, but I can't help it, because when I watch her talk about relationships on her show, I'm so dying to chime in and like just goof on, because I see things differently. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. I hope one of these days. I keep trying, but again, she's hard to get a hold of. But I have a dream. All right. But anyway, that's where I have totally, she has, but she's blown. I'm honored she's watching my show. How's that? All right. I love you guys. I do. Just hang in there. All right. Be kind. That's all I can tell you. Life is good. So I'm going to leave you with, if anybody wants their kids to get into the protesting business or whatever, you can get your own kit. They now make a protesting kit for children, because a lot of these people drag their kids along with them. I remember some of them, the pride parades, when they were really pushing the pride parades down everybody's throats, they were bringing their kids, even when some of these people were naked and things like that. Just dressed very inappropriate to be on the street and getting away with it, but kids didn't need to be seeing that shit. I talked about that a lot too. But anyway, now they have these kits that you can get for your kids, because if you're going to bring them along, you might as well put them to work as well. My name is Peter G. Thank you for watching. I love you. I love you. I love you. I do. So I'll see you next week. And again, I do love you guys. And peace out. Get the press kit.
we're standing up for what matters. With pre-made signs.
And handy talking point cards.
Plus, the blue wig's included.
Keep marching, team. And don't forget, you're getting paid.
Thanks,
Best
mister.
after-school job ever. No Kings, no homework, no problem. The No Kings Protest Kit.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorce dad, single dad.